kid.
You're my favorite kid because your name is Jeff Henderson.
Any other reasons?
Yeah, I like you.
And why is Mimi okay?
Because her name is Mary Frances and she never uses that name.
That's why you like her? Or that's why she's dumb? She's lower than me. She's down lower than me on the favorite scale.
Let's move on to the next
The
question.
next question: where were you born?
I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
To
Gordon and Louise. Gordon Wilkins, Louise Holman Wilkins.
what was your favorite part about Tennessee that you remember?
Oh, going to Fisk University in Nashville, Tennessee.
Do you have any memories prior to the 18 years before that?
Mm-hmm. I have a memory of being in Nashville, playing with some kids, and they told me to hold this piece of glass up, and I would see a headless person walk out of the house. And I did see a headless person walk out of the house. I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the house where we stayed was a house across the street from an Episcopal church. And when I went to college there, I went to visit that Episcopal church. And I remembered being in the neighborhood where I saw the headless horseman come up the house.
Interesting. Remember anything else about being a kid?
In Chattanooga?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I tell this story. We were doing a road trip. I don't know where we were coming from because we had relatives in Nashville and we had relatives in Chicago and Evanston. And we were going back to Chattanooga. And I fell asleep. And when I woke up, we were in front of the house. And so I said, how did we get here? How did we get here? And my grandmother or my mother, somebody said, oh, the good angels brought us here. And another story I tell about a road trip is, we had to carry our own food because we couldn't stop at restaurants. And they had a box of saltine crackers. And I said, ooh, these crackers are good. They said, well, you can have them. So I licked all the salt off of them. And when somebody went to eat some saltine crackers, they said, what's wrong with these crackers? They don't have any salt. So I told them I licked the salt off. And they said, well, why'd you do that? I said, well, you told me they were mine. And then I remember a house we lived in Chattanooga. Around the corner, there was a lady who had a parrot in a cage. And I remember the train station in Nashville, going there as a child. And when I went to Fisk, I remembered the train station.
Why did you choose Fisk?
Because it was across the street from Harvard Medical College and I wanted to marry a doctor.
What was your favorite part about Fisk?
Everything.
What was the first thing you saw that made you realize you picked the right place?
I don't know. I loved everything about the campus. Except my room. My room was on the 4th floor of the dormitory, and they didn't have elevators.
You didn't like the walk?
Up and down steps? No. Because I was always forgetting something and having to run back upstairs.
What were your favorite classes?
I'll tell you my least favorite class was math, elementary analysis. I really didn't have, I guess Spanish.
Do you remember any Spanish?
Beg pardon?
Do you remember any Spanish?
Si, senor. Oh, let me tell you about my Spanish class. He would give us a book to translate over the Christmas vacation, and I would go to the Library of Congress and get the translation and write it down. And when I would go back to campus, all the girls would come to my room so they could get the translation. So, yeah.
You remember graduation? When you graduated?
I didn't graduate from Fisk.
Oh. Where'd you go?
Howard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And I remember it vividly because it was terrible. It rained. And they were not prepared for a rainy graduation. So.
Why'd you transfer from?
Because I married my husband who was going to Howard's Dental School.
But you liked Howard? Or did you like Fisk more?
I liked Fisk more.
Did you like D.C.?
I lived in D.C. I grew up in D.C.
Did you like D.C.?
Yeah, my family was there. And my high school friends were there. So it wasn't as though I was somewhere that I was miserable. Yeah. Yeah, I made friends at Howard, but not like I did at Fisk. Yeah. Why are you asking me all these questions?
No reason.
Oh, okay.
Just curious.
Every time I get together with my kids, they say, we learn something new about you every time we talk to you. Oh. Yeah, I'm quite a character.
Are you?
Huh?
You think you're quite a character?
Uh-huh.
How so?
I just march to a different drummer. And sometimes that drummer doesn't keep the right beat. Oh.